exposing the white light and revealing the natural blue flame. Or that means it's more a kind of competition among the so-called fake light workers who is always pushing in the boat and the fishes to their side. Means that they connive and they side against their team, and they kind of like to they jump in teams. When they see that a team doesn't serve them, they go to another team, not knowing that all the team doesn't matter whether blue, white, black, golden, green, violet, are all from the same team using a different color jersey. They are so stupid, they don't know, they cannot think of this possibility because they doesn't have the wisdom, and then they dare to take part of this kind of light work, when they doesn't have the intuition, and they cannot see beyond the veil of the city. That's the funny thing about those people. At least some doesn't follow any team whatsoever. They are on their own. They doesn't make part of any team. So let's see what this Teresa Tali has to say. The color white is believed to represent purity. When envisioning positive energy, people tend to color it white, and they draw it into themselves with the belief that it transforms the negative energy into wonderful, uplifting, and a healing energy. It's not always true. The color white is more used for simplicity purposes and also to cool down, because white has been proven, at least in this matrix, to cool down the skin from the sun, from the summer, a house, etc. That's why you see in Greece, in Rhodes, Iceland, over there is all about white. They color their houses, their buildings all in white to deflect all that light, the intense sunlight from coming in. And that's what the white color does. It deflects light, too much heat away, while the black, it tends to absorbing heat. Okay, as for the other color, depend of the tone. Green is neutral. Yellow is a bit heaty, but not much, but it can absorb a bit of heat. Green is neutral. Blue is a bit heat, depend of the hue. If it's too dark, it tends to absorb heat. So usually inviting in red is too much heat. It's all about vibrancy, a lot of stamina, energy, so it kind of absorb heat in it. So black and red is all about vibrancy, energy, and a lot of also aggression. Okay, if you are in a very bad mood, don't wear too much red or black, because it tends to become heaty, and when you warm up, you tend to become more aggressive. So it's better to avoid it to get altogether. So the color white come into the simplicity. It's simple, and within the white there is the spectrum rainbow of all the other colors. So what you have to say, Teresa Teli. So this so-called light worker tends to mix the truth with the lies, the fantasy with something lucid and reality. White is not colorless. Yeah, not inside at least, but outside it is. But inside, because it contains all the the spectrum of the other color. And it was said, look like that you have a problem with white now, don't you? I see a lot of if it wasn't enough that they are now picking even and albinos targeted in Africa, albinos are targeted in northeast Brazil, in the state of Ceará, Brazil, that they had to flee to in Iceland, very hot 40-degree Iceland, to run away from persecution. That's how idiot they are, how racist. But they think that the racist is not a knife of 1,000 gums that can cut many sides. They think that the racism is not about a coin of many faces. It's just a side, just a face, and a side, and it isn't. At least for you, I'm sorry to break your bubble of conspiracy theory. No, racism comes in many colors. Okay, woman. So white is not colorless. Technically, it's not deemed as a specific color because it does not comprise a single frequency. Yeah, because in the matrix they create this color to represent all the others. And because the white dragon, the alpha dragon, Kobazar, from ancient Egypt, happens to be an albino, and his abode is unknown. Nobody really knows where he lives. He's a mystery. I ever saw him in September 2020. I saw him in the black entities with him. I ever met up with him, and he wouldn't say a word, and the others were all demonizing him. He's not good, and he's just quiet. And when you see a drum that makes so much noise, because inside it is empty, so you never know. So if the white albino dragon was quiet, because he doesn't own up to anything, and I don't know what he was doing there. He was called up, and then he was there. I think they was trick. That white dragon there was not even the real one. It was a trick to trick me, and to bring me there, and then flame and defame the white dragon, because his abode is unknown. He's a mystery, a great mystery, and he doesn't like to mix up with the mess of hell here in this constellation of the universe, the Milky Way. Okay, he's not into this thing. From what I know of him, of those dragons, white albino one. And as for the grays, yeah, they are white. Some comes in white too. Yeah, they are very white. That one is I don't think that one is more like a vest. It's a kind of cloth that they wear. It's not really their skin, but it's a cloth. The material is just like leather mixed with sponge, because I ever touched it already. My light body, I ever touched their skin, which comes with a leathery texture, in a marshmallow texture. It's a kind of vest. Okay, vest, you know what is uniform? Yeah, that's a uniform. Inside, I don't really know what is inside there, that vest. I don't know. Maybe one day I will find out. Right now, I don't know. I know that their color is a suit, kind of uniform. So white is not colorless. Technically, it's not deemed a specific color because it does not comprise single frequency. Yeah, but the matrix, try to be more specific. Try to be more, get more into details, because it will be better for you. Try to break out all the details. Light appears white to the eye when all visible light frequencies in the spectrum of the rainbow, or three diverse light frequencies or distinct intensity in that spectrum, called primary colors, are combined. So that's the white color here, the white light. And I don't trust anyone, not the blue, not the golden, none of it. Nevertheless. So it produces synchronicity in that spectrum called, combined. We can imagine a pure space with our perceived white light and its soul frequency. But let us dig deeper into why white is believed to be so special. Is to imagine because they prefer this so as to demonize the color white, the white dragon, because in the other realm, in the other parallel world, they doesn't go along together. Those black beings and the white albino dragon. And only because now Enki, who is Lucifer, Luciferian himself, happens to win the vote for rulership of the earth right now, they want to bring all this propaganda around to demonize the white dragons who were there in ancient Egypt and all over. Okay, and they don't like to meddle so much. They stay always very far away. They don't like to meddle. I don't know why they hate them so much. It's so hated. And when somebody is too hated, it's because there's light in them that they cannot bear this light. And this woman here is just one of those Luciferian in disguise. And that's why they never show. You see, sometimes they bring in their material, they say they make book, this and that, they are a writer, but they do not show themselves. Look like they are phantom. So called primary colors are combined. We can imagine a pure space power, specifically white light, and it is so frequency. But the last I did not believe to be so special. So what they bring here, they use the white light. They have used the people who they brought somewhere to be enslaved in the East, and they they infiltrate inside all the races, all the ethnic groups. They infiltrate in all the species in here, rocks, flora, fauna, etc., to best control within. You understand? The Nunex and all these other world, off-world creatures. So in one of those, they prefer the white color because it's more simplified. So they prefer the white to be a kind of symbolism or logo for them as simplicity, and all in it combine all the other spectrum of color. Okay? And also because they want, as I say, they want to demonize. They can disguise themselves as anything they want, so as to deceive better the species and here on earth. Spiritual beliefs all have an origin, and prophecies and channelings given by otherworldly entities give insight, not always woman, give insight into the origin of white light. Not always. They tell us to visualize white light, which draws it into our third eye. Not always. They are fake white light, and later on, I'm sure that she will turn around and say that these beings deceives a lot. And everything that who glitters are not gold, like I always say. Okay, not everything that glitters is white is gold or white light. And the more the fake light, the more shadows are hidden somewhere. They just have to remove that fake light around them. So pineal gland connected to the 60th chakra, influencing our mind is crucial to then influence the body. Then they often direct us to draw it further into our body. Why you want? Because you want. You all blame the entities that you love to connect only because you want to carry on their balls, because you think they are so superior to you. Your have low self-esteem, and then now when you get so like you are thrown out on the curb, you get so disillusioned in the end when they don't give what you want, and when they cheat on you, you come up now and then you talk bad about them. But why you serve them in a way before? Why did you all serve them? You didn't discern. Look at me, I don't serve anybody, I don't channel anybody. They come to me many times, but I don't want, because I'm always suspecting. And not because they are something of a word or whatever from Agartha, I'm going to blindly believe in what they say to me. Why would I? Why should I? The following few prophecies channel is found on the internet by the Galactic Federation of Light, which is a lie. It's a lie. Because whenever somebody comes as a light and tell you darkness, he talk to you about darkness, like, oh, you must accept all the sufferings, or this is a soul testing. This is what the fake light worker telling you all over the internet. This is your test ground, because they are masters are telling them so, to suffer in silence. And no true beings will say that, not even a God, if there were one. Because I believe with all my being that a God will never choose for anything that is created by the cosmos to suffer. None and nothing. If it suffers because something along the way went terribly wrong. So Federation of Light is close ally Ashtar comment. Two entitled groups as part of what I call the Jesus group. They are all in it together, woman. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which group they are called. They are all in it together. They are the new necks. Why can't you all understand that simple thing? Why are you working for the Anunnakis and you are trying here to trail off, to fool the people here that you all aren't following the Anunnakis, follow their agenda. A good examples along the other key points that I will briefly explain. Explain what, woman? What you knew already knew long time. You just started it now. I know it a long time ago. Okay, I knew it a long time ago. I started to open my vision better in 2016, I guess, 2015 to 2016. Before that, I was kind of falling into what they were. It was fed to me. Okay. Detailed explanations are in my book, Internal Humans and the Finite Gods Disclaimer. These excerpts are the informational purposes. Only I do not recommend their practices. Then why you ever show the first place? At the moment that they come up here and say that they talk for God, all enlightenment begins with light, and that's why the first thing that God spoke was, let there be light. Beginning by sitting comfortably, visualize white light surrounding you 3 different times each day for 30 days, 1 month. Use soft light at first and gradually intensify the light each day. The light you visualize must gradually become so strong that it can reach deep into every cell of your body. When this intensity of light is reached, the cells of your body will initiate a self-illumination process. This is known as light body activation. It can be very dangerous practice. For the dense 3D body. So I will never advise nobody and do it with caution. My book describes the experience of an unsuspecting participant in a light body activation ceremony that was part of a supposedly health retreat. It was formally called Breathing Activation and Clearing Ceremony, or BACC, and the itinerary gave no explanation except that it was a breathing meditation. Meditation, not mediation. I guess it's a meditation. Meditation can be goes very wrong and be dangerous if you are not prepared. And also, it's through meditation that they best sucks your energy, at least so when it's in group. That's why they prefer group, because it's the more the merrier, as they say. More loose to suck from. Wherever there's gathering, there is a congregation, prayers, and meditation. They are infested with entities, and sometimes they are not very nice. So it was a well planned ritual, though. Having people lay on the floor in a circle with their heads toward an altar that contains sacred geometry and Jesus images. And this you have throughout the planet, but much more in places like South Asia, South America, Americas, I guess even Europe is filled with all this nonsense thing. Brazil is filled. To me, all this is fanaticism and obsession. This is obsession because these humans, they are so arrogant that they love to go to wherever there is crowd to show off. They want to show off because they want to belong to that group, and they want to carry the balls and kiss the light feet of the aliens, because they think that they are superior to them, so they put them into a pedestal, you see. So it's good that they get all this sludge, how to say, slushy frenzy. It's good for them. I like that, because they deserve, the head here deserve nothing better than that, because they are stupid and they are very arrogant. As I said, they do not stop to give one pen to a beg on the street. Only some, very few of them. They don't help anybody in needs, not say a human but an animal. Some of them does, some, and those are atheists. Those is not into rituals or dogmas or religion. Those are atheists. The atheist is the one who has their own enlightenment, only unique and separate and individual enlightenment, but which is in part with the others. It's not those who goes into religion dogmas, but the hearty, my God, it's rotten. He recounts his harrowing experience after he followed instruction to breathe rapidly and let variety emotions release. Oh my God, so touchy. I really cannot concentrate. Even if they asked me to, I wouldn't never concentrate. I cannot. As the ceremony went on, I experienced cramping in my hands that raised them to my chest and called them to close. It was the demons coming out. I experienced the complete paralysis of my body, and I felt an invisible energetic presence over and around me. Yeah, it's possession. Some goes out, some comes in as walk-ins. I tried to move, but I couldn't. My body felt like it was taken over, except for my consciousness. Yeah, that they cannot touch. That they cannot touch, as I always say. I was scared. This went on for what felt like at least 5 minutes. Then, within the space of a few seconds, the presence left, and so did my paralysis. They left for a while. They will return later. It was so rapid that it felt abnormal instead of simply bloody alkalosis from the hyperventilation. Who asked you? to go without being prepared. You think it's easy? You are inviting when you enter this group, all these dogmas, these cults, you are but inviting all this, even this is yoga centers and meditations. You inviting in beings that you don't know nothing about. Afterwards, I felt lighter in my body, but in a state of shock, and I felt permanently activated more with my emotional self. This means that my chakras were opened, but I sometimes felt like I wanted to control them. Someone else was, something else was. My emotions and even my mind, they were controlling. I had to learn to stop within myself, and I would start to act like I know I normally wouldn't. Yeah, you gave your power away. I have had to rediscover myself and my own energy so I can stop any partial possession from happening due to that initiation ceremony. Either he was taken in, he was taken over him, or he was releasing emotions or release his own devils. So the specific Jesus group entities who gained access to this innocent person have deceptively claimed the ownership of him, although they know he never wanted them. You need to understand what's going on. I know this because we have had to expel them more than once. Yeah, they are very stubborn. These types of entities are persistent until we learn to stand solidly in augmented oneness, pure intent and ownership of our own energies. Yeah, you need to take control. You need to be stronger and not a pussy. Okay? So, it happened to me also in 2014 when I started to deal with something that I found here on YouTube. YouTube suggested to me in the playlist that they show to us to choose what we want to watch, and it was about in 2013 to 14. I was had to watch those spells, okay, spell channels, about how to earn money, how to win the lottery, and I am still in a very dire financial situation, with a very good reason. Many reasons, in fact. One is because I'm not in my own country, and I wanted a change, so a luck. So I went on to have some light rituals, not nothing like very bad and heavy or very serious kind of. Have some manners and have like make ritual, if sacrifice this and that. No, it's just take some green candle, because they say that it brings in prosperity, this and that. Green candles, some spice, all that, and and say some mantras. And there was one that is from India. That one that did me in. And then from there on, things start to come inside the house, you see, and then disturb me during the night. And I was even sometimes suffocated. You woman would come with elves and dwarfs to offer me a chance to win money in the lottery. But first, she said, I have to go into a contract with her, and there's a condition. I had to give my son life to her. I declined. I said no, I don't want it. She was in a cave full of rocks, and what appears to be her servants, which were dwarfs. Always dwarfs appears. Those are elementals. She appeared to me in a paint, I think a black paint and white pullover clothes that is long sleeved one, long black hair. Her skin was kind of olive skin, yellowish hue. And I said no. Some other unscrupulous people will give away even their children and parents to these beings, but I said no. Right away I cut her off. What happened from there on was a hell in my life. I was visited all the time, disturbed around the house until I moved rooms, bedrooms. That was in 2020 when I moved out. Shh! When I finally moved out, so finally the hauntings stopped a bit. Stop, dragon! So finally the hauntings stopped altogether. Your heart is a gateway to infinity. You are nearest to God in every moment of your greatest joys and raptures. The creation intends for every heart to be filled to the overflowing with love, joy, wonderment, wisdom, and bliss. Unleashing the limitless potential of the divine heart is key to all personal and spiritual development. This is the essential of all religion and the beginning of all genuine enlightenment. Should any religion have freedom? You don't have freedom to create with religions. They don't give you the freedom to create. So where's the freedom with religion? There is love as long as you belong to their club. You make part of their community. Once you are out, you are even cursed by them, by the group. So where's the love? Wonderment. So yeah, of course we know that we are here for love, joy, and not to be melancholic and sad, but to have joy. We are here to love, not to hate. That's true. Have wisdom and not stupidity, because stupidity is a thing for youth and for childhood. Once you reach adulthood, there's no more room for stupidity. Okay? What is commonly called the heart chakra is the body spot chakra, which is solar plexus, and is most attuned to fourth-dimensional frequencies. To be heart-centered is a prime focus in the New Age community because its related chakra has the potential to link us to this astral plane. And there is there where they place larvae, they place larvae into you, the bad people, even humans. They invoke this kind of spirit of beings, and they mess with your solar plexus. So they may use their eyes and their palms. Yeah, they do that. They do a lot. So at least all the idiots within this New Age nonsense or dogmas and religions beliefs. It's foolish to want to leave our bodies in a temporary out-of-body experience because our defenses are down while those entities whom we do not really know already have their less dense bodies. So they choose to circumvent natural boundaries to meddle with our density. That's true. And idiot, some kind of camera. People are they like to react, overreact even by trying to belong to a group whereby they think they can belong and can show off doing these practices to go out of the body when somebody just have it naturally. I have all my out of body experiences naturally. I don't ask, I don't invoke anything, I don't go through any practices, any rituals at all. It has to be natural or nothing. Okay, but some force the barrier, and when you do that, you are invoking in entities that you don't know anything about. You think it's fun to go there to that realm and be followed back. So over there, once out of the dense 3D body, and within your light body, you get more vulnerable. See, you get more vulnerable. And it will be easier for them to the other side to manipulate you without your 3D body. I need to find out why. I have found it out already. That is, you get more vulnerable and weak and manipulated easily once outside your 3D body. So you can, and you are not asking for it. I mean, you are not forcing the Boreas to get off that body. You do it naturally, like me, when it's spontaneously. And if you get targeted and get manipulated on the other side, going there naturally, imagine when you force it, open yourself, and then you go without any guarantees, any safety. They will suck your energies over there, and they will pull you back, and they will give a lot of bad waves. They call it bad waves or spells. It will not be very pleasant for you. So while the above excerpt it sounds wonderful, please pay attention to every word. The heart is not divine, it is physical. The heart is a part of the brain. Is there where there's a pieces of brain in there ingrained, and it's from the heart that all those the thoughts are formulated in the emotions. So this channel gives our bodies toward another realm where we will be controlled by something else that claims to be spiritual. But it's not our own composition or essential, or what people call one spirit and soul. Huh? Yeah, but just to say it is not the same composition as our, because we are human, they aren't, they are aliens or other kind of demonic beings. So we are not from the same atoms. Just be specific in details, go into details. I love to be precise, concise, to the point, or what people call one's spirit and soul. Upon reaching a state of oneness with the Creator, you will realize that the universe contains two principal polarities, and both of them exist within you and within the all there is in every dimension. Who is this all there is? It's not a defined thing, it's not a dragon. A dragon is just a creature just like us. But because they think that they are so smart, Alex, the new kids on the block, that they can do whatever they want, they see themselves as gods, okay? And also partly, and especially so, because you're here, give them all the feed they need, all the energy they need, through your devotions, through your stupid worship and belief system. Okay, so it's not them alone to be blamed for all the things that are happening here. So don't go about just blame your governments, because they too work for these beings, even if overtly or conversely. Doesn't matter. The point I try to make here is that we should not blame the dogs alone. We should blame also the owners of the dogs. Okay, don't blame the dogs for the bitings. Blame also their owners who's supposed to be responsible for them. Okay? So they are here because you all give them all the necessary components for them to be here and make a mess out of everything and are claiming to be the owners of everything there is, but doesn't have a God. God is just a multiverse, is all the atoms which everything else is formed, inclusive those same beings and gods that you all worship. which are partly Luciferian to Anonex, whatever. So open region state of oneness with the Creator will realize that the universe contains two principal polarities, and both of them exist within you and within the others every dimension. Now, when we talk about polarity, it doesn't have to exist. It exists here in this realm and the universe or Milky Way. Maybe there's no such thing in other multiverses or multiverses or metaverses. Okay, there is only this in here. You're gonna find it only in here or other parts of the universe, which is a cluster of galaxies. It didn't have to be this way, but along the way invasions come in and turn all this into polarity. And that's when problems started, and that's what we have now, and that's how far we came because of these polarities. A God, a sublime, supreme, all loving, all caring, all honest, all kind, will never ever choose polarity. Okay, who said now, before I say that God has said go forth and multiply? That was not a true God, that was a dragon. God will never say that go forth and multiply and bring everything back to me. It would say go forth and experience the essence which all there is, which is love, freedom, joy, wisdom, and not stupidity, and not hatred, and not disorder, but order, and not melancholy and sadness, but joy. Okay, that's what a true God would choose if there were one. Within the orders every dimension, these are the inquisitor of the seeker and the limited potential of the creator. It's lie. You are lying, man. You are just propagating and promoting your agenda, okay, and your nonsense. You are just justify all these, found the excuses to justify all the mess, all the hell that you find in here. Of course, there's good things. Of course, the nature, the beauty of this planet, which was made by the quarks of the multiverse. But I mean, talk about all the negativity that humans is caused and manipulated to do and to follow by this off-world, otherworldly beings. So in the East, these are called yin and yang. Yang, and it doesn't have to have such yin and yang, man. Just here in this stupid matrix. Okay? No such thing as yin and yang. No such thing in other places. It's only here. All in this brothel, cabaret. There's no such thing in other multiverses. I'm so sorry to break the bubble of stupidity and illusions. This was done by the creation to ensure that love would perpetuate. Love cannot perpetuate where there is hatred. You have to choose love, hatred, hate. What you want. You cannot choose love where there is hatred. You cannot know what is to love and impart care and be empathic, where there is so much suffering, where you become so bitter that you have no more feelings in your heart, in your soul, to impart all these qualities into others, because you are already suffocated by sufferings. So there's no room for love and care when there is sufferings. Sufferings take you nowhere. Suffering does not teach you anything, nobody anything other than hatred. The key word is joy. Joy. So through joy and liberation and freedom, conscious freedom, comes love and unity. Through sufferings, we divide. With love, we unite and conquer. So love with purpose, that's nonsense. And perpetuate through time, space, and eternity. We must create a secret covenant with God. Which God? Your Anunnaki's God? Your dragon's God? Is that what you mean? For the purpose of defining how the Inquisitor and the creation will unfold the Father soul growth. We cannot grow when there is suffering. We just go down and down. We degrade ourselves. Nobody will upgrade through wars, through famine, through viruses, through pandemics. Nobody ever will grow. You are lying. Lie, woman, lie. And you all who follows all this nonsense of light work. Light work is dark work done by the dark beings, the Luciferian being who come from the cosmos, the black cosmos, the dark energies, and the black matter. Think I don't know? And then you come here to bring your propaganda, talk about no because the white light is not good. Of course, your friends and your brothers, your invisible brothers, disguise themselves as the light and white. What do you expect? If somebody comes with a mask in the late of the night in the dark, pretending to be somebody you know, just so to rape you, how would you know? How would you know? If he was wearing a mask of your relatives or whatever, they will fool you easily, wouldn't they? Remember always that an unlimited number of offenses, angels, which are the Anunnakis, angels, which are the Anunnakis, and even this Micah is one of them. Comforters and healers are available instantly to every sincere seeker. Oh my God, oh my multiverse, I am so touched, only that I am not. This last number shows the context of the channelist's prior statements. It clearly gives a loved one view that purposely misrepresents the original all there is and brings it down into every creation in distortions, as though we are meant to have the polarized struggles and victimize again. Yeah, exactly. In that you are right. They love this game because through this game of duality, of victim, in a tyrants and attackers and perpetrator, that they best sucks on and loosey on eyes and our emotions. And these energetic polarities are not only part of our existence, but necessarily in our soul development. No, this is not the reality I know that's beyond this creation based in dimensional God. Unfortunately, we are here, so you have to dwell with it here. God is a creation that is perceived as the ultimate creator, but is only one creator who takes prior creation in another direction. There are many more layers of pure energies that arose from pure consciousness, similar to the original all there is. The purest in she that is neither creator nor creation. Complex entities which we are in creation often take what came before us and steer it into another direction. Yeah, thanks to your Anunnaki's gods. Manipulating the DNA of everything there is so as to better infiltrate and fit in, I would say. God groups, such as the Jesus group, are notorious with this, and they have taken words and names that we intuitively know underneath our currently brainwashed human state and give them other meanings to confuse us. Yeah, of course. They have many names. They all knit together. All the clubs' names, all the names of the religions and dogmas, they are infiltrated. They are many facets of the same single coin. So, with this masterful deception, it then becomes a he said, she said analogy of who is the copycat. I told you that they are replicator, they are really replicator. It becomes very difficult to prove who is right and wrong. It's not very difficult if you go within and then you measure your life up to now, how it went, what's behind all this, what you did to deserve all this. Then you will mix it, you will join in the puzzle and come to a conclusion. It's so difficult to know who is right and wrong. Your intuitions, your feelings will tell you. So the only way to attempt this is to provide as much information and background as possible from my word and see, which I do in my book. Yeah, but I'm sorry to say, but you also are misled. Okay, concern if lights and a color, you are misled because we need color here on the matrix alone. We don't use this in metaverses, the other places, the other side. Okay, we use it only here in this matrix, even within the fourth, fifth dimension. Even after we say die, we leave this body, we're still gonna operate inside a hologram of make-believe, and we're still gonna see color while we are operating with the mighty body. Okay, so beyond that, beyond this universe and this matrix, we're not gonna need color any longer. All this become something like non-existent and all neutral, is all where neutrality exists. The last sentence in the above except underscores my point on the number 7, that a plethora of religious minded entities waiting to heal us. Heal resides within each one of us. However, are they really healing us, or are they manipulating our DNA energetic structure to align with them in their distortions? The second hypothesis, they are manipulating our DNA through many avenues, many methods, and many angles. To align with them and their distortions, I will now introduce something exceedingly important. I explained in my books, first and second editions, that the originally complete energetic structure of the earth is called Hameshi, and its core is the sphere of Hameshi. Within this sphere is a blue flame. I did not yet know what comprises this flame. A blue flame. Blue flame doesn't mean that you're gonna believe it blindly, okay? Because there's many tricks out there, and you must be smart to discern everything. Within this sphere is a blue flame. I did not yet know what comprised this flame, but it and the sphere are so important that when catastrophic destruction occurred to Hameshi due to invading forces, guardians of the sphere took great care to protect it and even temporarily move it elsewhere. I finally decided to explore this blue flame because I learned that there's another blue flame that the Jesus group teaches. Yeah, they always replicate the originality, thus the physical species, which is but a replica of the original one, all now thwarted and distorted. Actually, there are at least 3 blue flames provided by the Jesus group that must be discerned. I will state the most immediate one first because it affects our ascension process. We don't need to ascend, we already ascended. I always say that. This ascension thing is all a process of excuses to make us follow into another religion system, and this time around New Age. Because if others doesn't serve, this one may serve for this era, okay? Or I would say it's something that is revisited from the distant past. So the Anunnaki in titanium thought communicates information about a blue flame to Drunvalo Melchizedek. In his book, The Untitled Secret of the Flower of Life of Vesica Pisces, Volume 1, Thought states that the halls of Hameshi were created by Nephilim, an Anunnaki hybrid species mentioned as giants and sons of God in the Bible. With a room based on Fibonacci proportions. In this room sits a stone cube above which a flame of whitish blue light glows. I don't know why this is aliens like so much light, liquid crystals and a jelly like substances. I really don't understand. And codes, mathematics, geometry. All this is engraved in their culture. In book The Untitled Secret of the Flower of Life, Volume 2, Thought state that the halls of Hameshi were created by Nephilim, an Anunnaki hybrid species mentioned as giants and sons of God in the Bible, with a room based on Fibonacci proportions. Fibonacci is that cube inside cube inside cubes, something like geometry. And this room sits a stone cube above which a flame of whitish blue light glows. These are the same halls and white blue flame that the Egyptian mystery schools called the Gates of Ivory, which became translated in biblical terms as the pearly gates of heaven. The Secrets of Hameshi, Volume 2 by Ashayana Dean. Note that this book does not discern between different blue frames. Thought, I already knew all this about replicas. Thought also states that these halls of Hameshi are a 4th-dimensional space that is located 3rd-dimensionally about 1,000 miles under the surface of the earth and is connected to the Great Pyramid through a 4th-dimensional passageway. So it's in Nagota, but in the side of the North Africa. What I can imagine here. I more truly explain in my book study edition how Fibonacci, mathematics, and related fractal science fracture creation toward death instead of healthy growth and healthy evolution. Intuitively, I know and can clearly see that the earth is beautiful in so many ways. Sure it is. It's the beings, the hybrids in here that spoils it. Together if they are demons' friends, invisible ones from the Anunnaks. Especially in its core essence. It is started by a particular universal science based on the rate of decay. But I do not see this death science as a deeper foundation, as its deeper foundation. Therefore, with my mother's assistance, I asked all there is. If you do suppose the halls of Hameshi are the original halls of Hameshi, positioned toward the earth, it replies. No, they, the God group entities or the Anunnakis, are using the same description and name attributed to the real halls of Amenti. The halls of Amenti that were created for passage by the Paladorian clustered races were invaded by fallen entities who ultimately pulled portion of this earth passageway to their phantom dimension and location. As a result, the distorted halls of Amenti provided a connection from the phantom portions of Earth with the phantom versions of parallel Chara. Chara is Terra, which means Earth, in the fourth dimension. Oof. So it automatically pulled portions of this earth passageway to their phantom dimension and location. As a result, the distorted hall of MNT provide a connection from the phantom portion of the earth with the phantom version of parallel Terra in the fourth dimension. So, but the question is this portion of this phantom earth here where we are, or it is somewhere else? We need to find out, is it earth that is a replica or a phantom fake earth, or it is somewhere else, maybe in Agartha, the inner earth? Phantom energy matter is encoded with that science deeper in this core construction, another type of realm that depends upon ones like ours for its breath of life. It means that their world, which is a phantom cluster in phantom bubble of system, and ours is all about, which is all about death and sufferings, is a place where we need to rob the life forces of another to sustain our own. And that applies to us as well, because we are killing animals to survive. Okay? So it all makes sense here. Ours is a phantom, a kind of vampire system of existence, which relies on killing another form of life so as to sustain ours. Without the flow of more natural energies, phantom energy matter would suffocate and permanently die. Yeah, of course. The following excerpt in Melchizedek's book shows how so-called God entities, such as thought, teach creational stories that elevate their species and also provide very little explanation or logical clarity. Thoth says that there were giants here on earth. That's all he said. He didn't say how they got here or where they came from. He said that when our race was created, these giants became our mother. He said that 7 of them came together, dropped their bodies by consciously dying, and formed a pattern of 7 interlocking spheres of consciousness. Exactly like the Genesis pattern, this merging created a white-blue flame, which the ancients called the flower of life. And they placed this flame in the womb of the earth. But our ancestral world taller is transparent and translucid. They wanted like ice, which are denser 3D, more solid. Our ancestral world, this giant they're talking about, and even today we have vestige of albinos and giants because they were one of the primordial here on earth. So there's remnants of them in all cultures, in all ethnic groups. So you cannot deny it. But where they come from, we don't know, because we could be fooled by think that they were They are in fact independent of the invaders, because they may have coming from the invaders or not, but um, yeah, there's a chance that they may have come from the invaders Adonex, or maybe not, I don't know. This vague statement about, but all I know is that long time ago our ancestors here did not eat meat. The sun was not as hot as you have today, and our ancestors were not carnal, not full developed yet. They were semi-solid and very fluidic, and also very translucent, just like a ghost. This vague statement about our creation seems fantastical, and it certainly is unrealistic. However, we are told to just believe the unbelievable in the context of almighty gods. Which were they? Investigation into the number 7 shows significance in Judeo-Christianity. Accordingly, ascended masters teaching such as those in the New Age, Buddhists, and Hindu religions say that there are 7 and more rays or realms to where we should go after death, to join or even become one with deities known as gods or demigods or semi-gods, which are aliens and Anunnakis, of course. These 7 rays are believed to comprise the following colors: blue, is one of my favorite color; yellow was my favorite color; pink, white was my favorite color; green, purple, and gold, and violet. The Jesus group second blue ray flame comes from these realms. As you can see, the color white does also. Hey, come on, as you said above, and as I know, they are good replicator. They are good replicator and copycats. So now what? Why you are saying that this come from them, all the colors? I initially thought that these colored frequencies constitute other dimensions, unique spaces with unique frequencies or frequency blends where material creation is represented somewhat differently. Until I investigated the topics of this article and discovered that otherwise, all there is, which you have no real findings, or you don't have the knowledge where to see all there is that your contact coming from anyway. Could be this that you are judging, could be the Luciferians Anunnakis, and you don't know. The pure essential confirms that the 7 rays of light toward which God group entities theorize are indeed in a higher, less dense position of their significantly unnatural creations. The deity plans that are finite spaces between those are created by the mind. Okay, this is a mind word. This is a hologram. It doesn't exist for a long time. It's a product of the imagination. Okay, this is also a system of imagination. It's just like a visual reality. So that's why you have all the color spectrum there. What imagine appears: golden masjids, mosques, golden church, golden cathedral, golden temples with lights and color that you never seen here on earth. But that is a product of your imagination that the invaders and the demiurge forces you to see once you are out of your body and you go through their world and their station center. Phantom entities created them by taking, fragmenting, and altering certain plasmic energies to help create a new realm that could be ruled by them. Yeah, all made in China replica, aptly named the deity planes. It's most likely that these planes are the highest and farthest these entities can go, and their so-called ascension process that can only reach outer realms. They are nothing. They are just rabid dogs. I would say rabid animals. They are just like us creatures. Okay, but the idiots here, the heads here, we put them only they. Here is where the place where they get the devotions and praise. Elsewhere they will not get. So that's why they come here to beg here for uh, attentions, praises, worship. And also they get their loose from the idiots here, the worship, the devotees as they are called, and serve them right. I don't pit them. They like it. They do it because they like, so let them sing their own shit. Okay, I'm like that. I have no more empathy with stupid people. People know entities, creatures here. Really, I'm done. So, what I wanted to say, what else? It's most likely that these planes are the highest in part these entities can go, and the so-called ascension process that can reach outer realms. They are in kindergartens like us. They only can go to up to um, doctorate or get a diploma in evolution. Okay, and they don't allow the heads here to graduate. They don't allow. In evolution, they don't want, because they want you pinned here, stuck there up here in this realm, so as to best serve them and serve you right. You deserve all this. You ask for it, and as you are asked, so be unto you all. So no, not the vast internal realm existing far beyond them. In response to my inquiry, this deity that she communicated proclaimed to be a god, which I don't believe. The pure essence, she stated that the deity plane levels correlate with the same numerical order of dimensions in the more phantom version of the Milky Way called Phantom Milky Way, but they become less dominant colors in the dimensionalized blends. This is one reason why thought mentions 7 spheres or levels, and they are revered deity planes. God entities aim to be our masters and also merge our consciousness with their collectives to supplant our original identities. Serve them, serve you all right. You deserve that, because you were made for serving way. Okay, you're made to follow, not to change. Another reason thought mentions 7 spheres is because this more directly relates to a 7 unity code as the basis of especially destructive creation involving Metatron. God group entities like to claim that they are seed atoms, elementals, or even our breath of life. No, they aren't. They are just invaders, infiltrators. They infiltrate even the elementals here in the water, the fire, etc. But they aren't that. They are just infiltrator, because from infiltrate that you best blend in and dominate from within. Understand? That's simple. So to us human, they are much more Metatron, God group, that they like to claim that they are seed atoms. Everything is atoms, elementals, or even a breath of life, but really they are much more complex beings similar to us humans. Deceptive entities known that to gain our falling. They tell us half the truths. Humans generally know great truths in our unconscious and subconscious state. It's because they have died so much and they have bring themselves manipulate. They have technology to manipulate their DNA. They have died and revived, died and revived. Don't you, one of your gods died, supposedly died and resurrected? Resurrect? Haven't it? So it's the same with these beings. They die and the Anunnakis have this technology power, and then they resurrect their own member of their families. So they become a cadaver, zombies, walking zombies. So when you do this time and time and time again, because you don't want to die, because you're afraid to die and face the music in another dimensions, okay, let's say a 20 dimension, 50 dimension, level of dimension, you are so afraid to pay for your deeds, for all that you have been done here in this class of the universe, that you are so afraid to die that you keep on bringing yourself back to life by manipulating DNA and using DNA of other beings whereby they went and explore and invaded. Do you got it? How it works? No, nobody tells this, but I'm telling. They are only interested in the war in Ukraine, in the war in Russia, whatever. Only care about this virus and all this. Not me. I want to go deep into the matter to find out why we are where we are right now. Why all this is happening? Where did it all begin? Where we started. So humans generally know great truths in our unconscious, so similar deceptive entities. Yeah, they are creatures like us, but they are playing gods, Anunnakis. You are playing gods. And you don't like to die, but you like us to die. And then you're gonna judge us in another realm, as if you have the right to judge us, but not me, If you come to me and tell in my face and judge me, you're gonna face the music. I'm not afraid, because I'm a consciency, and that's consciency which belongs to the other multiverse. You cannot take away. You can take away my body, my light body, okay, but you cannot take away my consciency. It doesn't belong to you. And even that you want to replicate made in China product, low quality. So receptive entities know that again are following, and or even they are not elementals, they are infiltrator. They manipulate all the elementals and everything that is here. Or even our breath of Allah, but they are much more complex beings. They are creatures like us, and likewise humans. Deceptive entities know that to gain our falling. They tell us how the truth. And who is stupid? If somebody comes to me time and time again to tell lies, if I believe them, I may need it. And if I follow them, I may need it. Unless I want to play their own game, and then I go see them. Okay, I believe. Yeah, I believe. As long as you don't touch me, that's okay. I believe you. You are very far away from me. You tell your lie, and I'm going to pretend that I believe you. I trust what you are saying. But once you get to me in the skin, you think that you can manipulate me and I do your bid. You are wrong, dude. You are in for a great surprise with me. So humans generally know great truths in our unconscious and subconscious states, but we have difficulty translating them to our full warning. See, they tell us just enough to then whitewash literally our minds. The Jesus group, or blackwash a woman, blackwash too, or brown wash, or purple wash. How about that? The Jesus group said blue flame is another blue frequency blend that is channeled through Archangel Michael or Michael, flaming blue sword, which aims to anchor its highly unnatural frequencies into the Earth's core. I already met up with him about 3 weeks ago, and he was bullying my dead sister who passed away 3 years ago. But I don't know, it was a stage set up but she was too terrified of him. He considers himself as God of the Jesus group. Some say that he is Jesus. Micah is Jesus. Is the son of Enki, the black dragon. So, group due to being a very ancient entity from the 13th dimension, and a predecessor galaxy to the Milky Way that I call Galaxy 2. He has since become a phantom entity because of his God mentality. The order is clarifies that this particular blue flame originates in the 12th dimension of a distant phantom galaxy named Wezadek, and has picked up some white and other minor colors through phantom Milky Way along the way to us. Technically, the Milky Way would be Galaxy 3 and the phantom Milky Way would be Galaxy 4 in degrees of distortion. Now that I have explained the three blue flames of the Jesus group, I will return to the white blue flame, but immediately affects our ascension process. The order is states that the Alpha Omega group's white blue flame has white at its core, and there are three colors surrounding it: faded sky blue, baby blue, and then cobalt blue. The fully natural blue flame that I soon describe does not contain any white. So, what's the white light? According to all there is, the pure essence, the white light is phantom dust, a dead, hold space where the ancients of negative energy construct can and do work on human DNA manipulation and conscious memory wipe. It originates in the fourth deity plane as an induced frequency that circumvents the colored hues and has been dispersed into phantom Milky Way dimensions. I advise to never draw the white light into yourself. Neither blue, neither black, neither green, neither purple, neither yellow, woman, neither gold. You will lose your precious DNA integrity and fragment further. How about these implants in the muscle of people and the shoulder that has contained the blue liquid inside you, woman? How to explain that? Huh? And then you come with the white. You have obsession with white now. Though coconut water also is colorless. It's not colored. I suppose that you also don't drink white, or also the milk, which is white, or the coconut water, which is colorless. So I suppose you don't drink because you are too afraid, you are too obsessed with what you have heard, supposedly by Luciferian themselves, and then you are blackwashing them here, huh? Because you are working for them and you are the spoken person for them, aren't you? The popular love and light salutation arguably refers to this white light. So please reconsider saying this statement that this entire article helps to properly illuminate. Why are you so keen in telling people what they should or not do? It is but a question. It begs a question. Why are you so bent on forcing people to follow what you are saying here? Not to do this, not to do that. Why? Why shouldn't we salutate someone? I have saluted which appear to be a feline being. I saluted him with one hand, and it was the left hands, palms out, directing towards him, but he saluted me with two hands, with the same shape like this, his palms toward me. Arguably refers to this white light, so please reconsider saying this statement that this entire article helps to properly illuminate. In our precarious position on Earth, we are only slightly better off than phantom matter in a highly fragmented semi-phantom state that contains an off-white color. When people follow that white or off-white pathway in near-death experiences, they usually meet distorted God group entities. Hello, woman. Long time ago, before your beings came here, our ancestral were already translucent. So how to explain that? Huh? The light body is translucent as well. So how to explain? This need more work, more studies, more search to finally come up with a solid and conclusive ultimate explanation for all this inquiry. Who often project themselves as family members and might become further infused phantom energy to then become their hands and feet. They may also gain another entity as a guardian angel to further direct their ways. Their near-death experience occurred beyond their control. So any resulting entity attachment is therefore not real welcome. However, their religion tells them it's desirable. They are being duped. Let them, it's their choice. The color white can also equate to an alien entity. Or more accurately, it can correlate to an alien entity because it's more complex than phantom white light. I told you this is a uniform. You didn't even touch them like I did. I touched gray aliens in a very rough, brutal way. And then you come here to tell me, people that you went through all those experiences, like you have gone through them when you haven't, and you think that you have the ultimate answers. That is a uniform. They use that as a anti-proof for radiation, for Earth radiation. For them, there's a lot of radiation on Earth, and also the solar radiation that they cannot take because they are some kind of light. Okay, so what happens? They come with that vest to protect themselves and to deflect light away from them. So they wear white. Okay, try to understand. Try to analyze things before you come up with a conclusion, or stupid conclusions. So correlate to an alien entity because it's more complex than phantom white light. For more elaboration, I turned my trust to the 14-dimensional galaxy to contact, which she thinks that's the ultimate truth, and it may not be. It's just another, who knows, demiurge, and for her, it's the ultimate truth. Is the true God, is the true, the benevolent one. You see how these people take sides, and they still want to be right. No, woman, you are not right when you take sides. You must be, how to say that word? You must be diplomatic and be always on the center. And be impartial and not partial. You must be impartial in your deals. So, Amy, I choose to not divulge her full name due to her sensitive position, who works with the Crystal River host, what we call a Crystal River family, based in internal realms. She states the entity clocks itself in white light. Okay, clocks, they are not white, they clocks, because it deflects radiation and light. You think yourself to be so smart, but you don't know the simple details. This woman. The entity clocks itself in white light to your density's reality perception. Thus, believing that, and have you stopped to see that your woman is the most gullible of all and the one that is easily deceived and manipulated by those beings? Have you seen? They jump from the hot boiling water direct into a frying pan filled up with hot oil. Things that did not get burned just because they jumped from one pot full of hot boiling water to a pan full of hot oil. What's the difference? She states the entity clock itself in white light to a density reality perception, thus leaving that space between densities and dimensions with white residue from either side. I do not live in the phantom world or deceive others with the cloaking device to achieve an agenda. This is just a cloak. This is not their skin color or whatever. You don't know how are they inside. Am I right? The natural original blue flame called Hameshi blue flames is only comprised of specific blue hues. It has a light medium blue, but it doesn't mean that they are the ultimate truth. They may be deceiving you as well. It has a light medium blue color in the inner flame surrounded by a dark turquoise blue section, and then a royal blue color in the outermost part of the flame. The inner two layers are wider than the outermost layer. It doesn't matter, woman. This is just something superficial. Are you a Gemini? You are Aquarians? My God, so superfluous, so superficial. Always see things at material value alone. She don't see the contents of something. What she sees is the outer facade of something and not the inner facade. It doesn't matter the color, woman. What it matters is the content of something and not the color. Color is color, body is body, shape is shape. What matters is the intentions and content. So I don't like all these women who meddle with the metaphysics word, They are full of bulls. The order is reveals that the Hameshi blue flame comprises internal pre-plasmic energy imparted by the earliest level of creation containing inhabitable crystals. Crystal come from what? Say it again. Crystal, crystal stars. Crystal star. Our region of this meta-cosmic level is named Cosminias, pronounced Cosminias. Crystals are internal stars whose vast majority have planetary living conditions. The following images are closely approximated a representation of the Hameshi blue flame, and its dimensionalized shape is a living flame that can be enlarged around us. It's best to imagine ourselves surrounded by the innermost light medium blue flame to benefit from the entire flame's protective frequencies. I tend to expand its colored essence beyond any confines. These humans are very stupid. This one for me is just like a logo of a gas company. That's the difference. Look like a gas flame. One that is blue with some light blue hues and dark blue hue. It could be the Anunnakis doing that, woman. Like they know their game is up. Am I right? They know that their game is already out. The cat is out of the bag, so they kind of coined. They create another idea, bling, to deceive the fools like you, and then they created this new organization. This is new beings, new creatures, new color, new logo, etc. So as to best manipulate and mislead you all. Do you understand? When something doesn't serve, the other thing will serve. So they create another idea. And then you fools, you fall for it and you think of yourself so smart and you still write a book. My God, I'm more eligible to make a book than you all. Really. I first learned about the sphere of Hameshi and Hameshi Blue Flame from the book Voyages, The Secrets of Hameshi, Volume 3 by Ashiana Dean and Hentati. So you become kind of obsessed by this book. So you think you have the ultimate truth about everything just by a book that you have read. Am I right? And her entity group named Guardian Alliance, which is nothing but the Galaxy Federation run by the unknown ex-reptilian. Nevertheless, woman, the GA states that the blue flame constitutes Earth portion of Terra's, which is Terra, which is Earth energy field pattern, morphogenetic field, and it receives its blue color from Terra's, not Terra's, Terra's, particular dimensional hues. Specifically, the GA describes this blue flame as an electric blue with pale shades of green. This green color is a strange addition if they're only trying to tie into the blue flame to Terra. In my book, third edition, I uncover more about the GA and its affiliates entity group called the Melchizedek. In my book, that edition, I cover more about the GA and the affiliated entity group called the Melchizedek Cluster Emerald Order, MCO. I'm gonna see where she go if this passage here, what she meant, which has worked with Ashiana as its main speaker. This dragon that she called the all there is, that she thinks is a god and is not, because the idiot woman is very stupid. Pure since she states that the emerald color is a combination of blue and gold flame frequencies in certain dimensions of a less dense prior creational domain called the Eka. Eka, I put flame in quotation marks because the MCO trace GA give it that designation. This designation models the distinction between the actual Hameshi blue flame and frequency rays. These humans are all confused. They are everywhere. They mix up everything. They get enthralled and they get trapped in their own stupidity. I tell you why. Melchizedek is nothing but the Anunnaks themselves, and they make part of the Metatron group, which come from Zenki's Luciferians. So in other words, this woman and this human are all working for the Anunnaks. Bingo, as I thought. The order is the pure essence. She reveals that the Ashayana GA team had visited the Hameshi blue flame when I had something fall. I'm gonna see what was that. So, Ashayana's information Voyager's books supports the Emerald Order as the prime lineage of our creation. Really, so many come forward say that they are our line from our lineage. So who to believe is who? Who are you all to say that you are the right ones, huh? Need to be really stupid and a bigoted to believe that. This perspective can tailor and omit information according to that entity's group advantage, similar to how God groups act. Okay, I understand now. So you are against her belief. You are just disagreeing with this statement. Okay, I deduce that they have worked to claim ownership over the Hameshi blue flame, due to their belief that they would be its best guardians. However, their actions have partially compromised its natural galactic components from exuding internal foundational energy from a much earlier realm than theirs. Entities are often unaware of what exists before them. Yeah, because our history has been erased by unknown X, by ATs. So what can we do? It's not our fault. We are victim of the invaders. But we were immortal. At least our ancestors were once immortal. They did not die. They left if their own spontaneous will. When they fed up of staying in one planet, they will just go. And their own you. No need to have a painful exit like the death process that we have here. Okay, we don't have to agonizing to leave the body. You just think of it and then you sleep and go. You didn't go all this nonsense of pain to die. Okay, like we are having, because these monsters, these satanic monsters, have invented this death thing so that we will suffer and they will rejoice. They will get orgasm by seeing the suffering of another and the blood shed. So that's why we have all these painful deaths that we have nowadays. For some reason, many of them do not seek far beyond their current position and warning sea. I did what I could do to correct this information in my first book edition, and to a lesser extent in my second edition. But since there is a plethora of information in addition to my growing but limited warnings, I prefer the journalist wrote and stating sources as they claim. Now that I have shared my claims, I'm further fine-tuning my scrutiny. We now know that the sphere of Hameshi is not based on open terror, but it helps carry an energetic trace through terrors to its predecessor Alcyone and beyond. The MCO has stated that terror is the star Alcyone and the player. Oh, I already have covered this, so that's it for now. I mean, very too much, okay. So that's it. I don't think that this person also has the answer for all this confusion regarding our existence and our cultures, our tail cultures inclusive, and all the trials that we go through. She doesn't have the answer for all this. She just kind of trying to pave the way for another lies from these atheist beings who disguise themselves in many forms so as to deceive men here, many men, man and a woman. Okay, so I did not agree with her. Doesn't matter the color. The color is just some superficial stuff or symbol to represent something in a matrix, but it is not all there is. Doesn't mean much. It's just a symbolic thing, it's just a logo to symbolize a group, a company, an organization, etc. But it doesn't mean much. Doesn't mean that the white is bad, black is good, black is bad, white is better. It doesn't mean that. Goodness comes in many forms and size, and so does evil. That's all I have to say. I